In this video, I'm going to talk about my own experience with striving to get money, striving to get rich, because I learned a lot of things the hard way, and I'd like to pass it on to you. And of course, I wrote a song about it, and I'm really looking forward to sharing that with you here in a bit. But before we do, I just want to give you a little context about what happened with my situation, how I got off track, and when my priorities got messed up, what that actually looked like, so that you can be wiser than I was and spare yourself from needless stress, needless distance in your family, and just avoid dumb things. True riches aren't a matter of how much money we have or the things we own. And when we do end up getting the things that we're striving for, a lot of times they don't even satisfy like we think they will. But the cost of what we sacrifice to obtain them is greater than we can imagine. When we chase wealth and the craving for more gets its claws in us, the things that really matter, like your marriage, your kids, satisfaction in life, peace of mind, all those things get thrown out the window. Someone asked Rockefeller years ago, how much money does it actually take to make you happy? And he said, just a little bit more. And that's human nature for you. It's in our nature to be overly devoted to things like money. Perhaps that's why Jesus taught us that no man can serve two masters. You will either hate the one and love the other, or be devoted to one and despise the other. But you cannot serve God and money. That's an interesting thing to say. Flies in the face of most people that I know. But Jesus knows best. And when he's saying that you cannot serve God and money, you can't do both at the same time. It's impossible. Money is a great servant, but it's a horrible master. And if you are getting stuck and caught in the hairs of the love of money, you're in a dangerous position to be. My compass in life that has helped me time and time again and keeps me on the path of truth, keeps me in a way of righteousness, is the scriptures, is the Bible. And the Bible speaks a lot about money. Money is a good thing, There's tons of practical wisdom in the scriptures that teach us about being good stewards, about how to invest properly. But it also warns us of the ills of that same thing. 1 Timothy 6:10 says, "But those who desire to be rich fall into temptation, into a snare, into many senseless and harmful desires that plunge people into ruin and destruction. For the love of money is a root of all kinds of evils. It is through this craving that some have wandered away from the faith and pierced themselves with many pangs." Proverbs 23:4 says, "Don't wear yourself out trying to get rich. Be wise enough to know when to quit." So with that, let me tell you my story. When I started my first business, a dental laboratory, I was working probably 70, 80 hours a week. I had no time for my wife and kids, and I was fully focused on my business. At that time also, I leveraged on my primary house, and I bought a couple of rentals. I had 2 businesses, 4 mortgages, a pretty good sized family, and a lot of misplaced confidence in myself. Honestly, it took circumstances outside of my control to put me in check and really humble me, get my attention. And I think around 2008, the market tanked, and everything I owned completely dropped in value. But I had loans and responsibilities on these houses, so I was pushing even harder to get myself out of the situation, wait for a correction, all that stuff, and nothing was working. The day came when I had to call a spade, and I decided to sell my rental properties for as much as I could get for them, and I had to short sell them, which was really humiliating to me. It was in that space that God convicted my heart, man. I had been spending all of this sweat, all of this money, all of this time, and it cost me so much anxiety and stress and distance and distraction from my kids and my wife, that I had nothing to show for it. And it took some time for me to like change, I guess. You know, I still always working on changing, trying to do what's right, man, and make my priorities right. But that was the deal, you know? That was the turning point for me.